I've been an entrepreneur practically all my life because I went straight out of high school into the Air Force and figured out real quick I didn't like people tell me what to do that didn't have any idea what I was doing. And so I went into construction and built a sheet metal and air conditioning company in Las Vegas, Nevada in 16 years, started in my garage. 16 years, I had 35 employees, 18 vehicles on the road, working 3 states, and looked totally successful. I got into real estate, general contracting, land development. Had a goal when I got out of high school to be a millionaire every time I was 35. Left home with $20 in a suitcase, and in my 35th year, I had a $1 million financial statement. So, but then life wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't any fun in construction. And so I sold that business and started looking for something I really wanted to do. And ended up living on my assets, got into, started network marketing, lost more money than I made. And none of them seemed to really work. And so I got frustrated with that. And I never wanted employees again. But I started to go back into a traditional manufacturing business. And took about 4 years, but I finally went broke at that and ended up in bankruptcy. Leases up on my Suburban. A friend of mine took me to an auction. There was a car dealer and bought me a Taurus Ford station wagon. And it was hard to drive, trust me. Ended up, I'd sold all my toys, the motorhome and stuff like that. And I still didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up, so to speak. So I kept, looking for residual income because I just didn't. When you got 35 employees, you got an adult daycare center. So I was working with, I attempted a couple of companies. I drove to Phoenix one time because I knew I needed more inspiration, more about the company. So I went to an event in Phoenix. I drove down there and parked at a truck stop at night and slept in the car, get up and take a shower at the truck stop and go back. And there's only one person at the time knew I did that, but nothing seemed to be working. And when I looked at Ameriplan, what I saw was renewed hope. So I hit the ground running. I just moved to Dallas 2.5 months before I got into Ameriplan. And I was about 3 weeks from the rent being due. I had 4 credit cards all maxed out. Didn't know where their money was going to come from. But in Ameriplan, my first 18 days made a little over $2,200. And we paid daily. So I paid the rent, the truck, the truck payment, cell payment, credit card payments. And my 10th week, I made senior regional sales director. Went over $11,000. And my 20th month, made national sales director. And money's not everything, but it does right up there with oxygen. And so, and I said all that to say this. Now my residual income pays the rent payment, truck payment, a new car payment, and all my bills are paid before I get out of bed in the morning. And, that was great. But when I really realized how much, Ameriplan meant to me in residual income was a year ago, October, when I got a phone call that my brother was being airflighted to the hospital with a heart attack. He lives in Indiana on the farm I grew up in. Ron takes care of my mom. So I was able to throw everything in the car and my computer and everything because I didn't know how long I was going to be there and head for Indiana. And the real beauty was there was no concern about where the money was coming from to go. Or to stay as long as I needed to stay because he was, like I said, him and his wife took care of my mom. So I mean, it was a 14-hour drive, 15-hour drive. And so Ameriplan also, the residual income allowed me to move to Memphis last July. Twofold, one to help me grow and raise my check, build myself as a leader and, learn more about the industry. But it's only 6 hours to the farm. And then last December 2nd, a couple of months ago, I got a call. My mom was in the hospital with a blood clot, and I had to have an emergency operation on her colon. And so, again, I just threw everything in the car. Headed to Indiana and spent most of December and most of January, or half of January, in Indiana. And again, no concern, you know. And so, you know, what Ameriplan's done for me is given me the freedom that I've always really wanted. And it's allowed me to be there to support. You know, my brother woke up and I was there. The look on his face was priceless. And there's no way you can put, I mean, I can't put a dollar value on that. So, Ameriplan's allowed me to express my love more, be more passionate and compassionate with people, and I like where I'm going, and the support I get from everybody here is just phenomenal. You know, when I first got started, and I had no successes, you know, the whole group in the Richardson office supported me like I was family, and so, you know, everybody here is on my team, and I thank you very much. I love you all.